What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, class swing traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. Crazy markets. The markets don't close when we go to sleep, but we got AJ in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Albert. Good morning to Amy, Andy, Brian, Jimmy. The stick is in the house. Good morning to you. That's a new name. We got Joe. Good morning to you. Good morning to John, Lauren, Lou, Lucian, Mark, Mary's is in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Rick, T Flow. Good morning to Tim, Wendy, all my people out in YouTube land. We got me. Good morning to you. We got Amanda. Good morning. We got the Mortgage Millionaires Mentor. We got a lot of we got like mafia names in the house today. I like it. This is random. Whew, I gotta watch myself today. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what's happening. We'll see what's happening. But we got the SPY bouncing pretty strong last night, although not a lot of continuation so far today. Obviously, the news after hours. This this one game we were melting all after hours until this one candle right at 6 o'clock, where we have news that Bassett will be meeting with, we don't know who, somebody, economic leader is all we got in China, and that's supposed to be tomorrow. So at least there is a meeting. There's some negotiations. Again, that's not a deal. That's not any concrete. There's not even positivity on either side. But the meeting is enough to rally the market. So we'll see how that one plays out. For SPY for today, we were looking a little bit better before. We're okay. We're still up. We're still. I mean, let's take a look. I guess at the last 15 minutes of yesterday, um, kind of making new lower lows. We did double bottom. We should have some type of support right around. I would think from yesterday, almost the neckline is about 560.56. We're there now. So we'll see if any of this holds. It did hold last night, but it also didn't further any bigger push. I think we got up to like 565 on the spot, just slightly above it. So that ran us already into a resistance. I'm a little on the fence if this rally could hold or not, but so far so good for the Bulls, especially if you were buying essentially into the close yesterday. You're up a little bit. And the big news and what everyone's going to be watching today is Jerome Powell. So we'll see if he wants to continue to rally the markets up higher. I don't think we get rate cuts today. I think we probably kick the can down the road. The market's still pushing June, but even that is kind of fading a little bit. So if I think if enough so where if Jerome Powell could kind of say we're heavily looking for June. We're really considering it. Something to that favor. That might be enough to push us up higher. If he comes in and he's just really on the fence, everything's just data dependent. We don't know. We're not even sure June's a possibility. I don't think the market's gonna love that too much, and that's probably where we get the sell off. So I don't think so much from the actual rate cut we get a response, but probably from what he says and how he says it, and if we get dovish Jerome Powell. I don't know if we do or not. He was just kind of called the biggest loser. So I don't know how which Jerome Powell we get today. We'll have to see. But Q's also gapping up on the news right at that 200 EMA. We are looks like a penny or two. Depends on where this tick is. Yes, now we're like right at slightly below. Half a second ago, we were slightly above it. So watch key level, probably somewhere around 482.45 on the Qs. If we cannot get back above it, you'll probably see more of a retest. This is a retest gap technically from yesterday. Um, but next target, I don't really have too much holding us up back until the opening price 479.57. So we could be in a wild day. Resistance or resistance to the higher side somewhere about 483.93. You do have a slightly better risk to reward to the down side, the bear side, as opposed to the bull side for right now. But see what we could do on the Qs around that 200 EMA. I think that would be pretty fascinating to see, specifically where we close from there. I think that'd be a good sentiment going into Thursday's meeting with China in hopium, at least for positivity. Also, Trump yesterday says that he had a big headline. Um, he had big news that he was sharing. There's a whole board of people going to be there for the announcement. Everyone's going to love the news. So I don't know. I don't know how to take it. It's supposed to be Thursday, Friday, or even Monday. He said that they're going to announce whatever news it is. Then later yesterday, we had the best of news. I don't think they're related. I think when Trump was speaking yesterday, the market did rally on, hey, we have a big announcement. I think the market was thinking China, and I think the market was thinking probably something in tariffs. But in the same meeting, he kind of said it doesn't have to be tariff related. It doesn't have to be deal related. So it's probably something else. I think it's two separate pieces of news. So whatever it is going to be on the horizon, but it doesn't sound like it's a deal. I don't know what that could be, and I don't think it was the best at news. So I still think there's something else out there, and I think the market probably conflating both of them. Like that was the big news, and I'm not quite sure it is. So we'll see how it plays out. And if we get any more headlines, obviously from Trump, kind of reiterating some kind of a big announcement, big news, something like that. We'll see how the market wants to take it. But I don't think it is tariff related. I think it's something in the chip area. If I was to put something, I think it's probably more affecting Nvidia for some reason more than anything else, but we'll see how it plays out. We got Bitcoin made a nice little move yesterday as well, so good push on that news from the U.S. meeting with China, and at least trying to get the ball rolling with some negotiations. And we'll see how that meeting kind of spins and what the result is of it. But Bitcoin at a pretty interesting double top location for now. I'd want to see Bitcoin get above 97.38 if we could do that. We should have decent amount more room to go on Bitcoin up to 98,409. However, if this fails, you have some support. We hit that one already today, 96,388, and then you got 95,67, 667, and then back to like 94,368. So we'll see. It could be a foreign investment news. Maybe something from the Saudis. Potentially, I think it has to do with Saudis and ships. I think that's the direction. Just trying to piece it together as to what it could be, and who knows, maybe it's completely different. But I think it has a direct effect to probably chips and Nvidia. That's where I'm leaning if I had to take a stab at it. But we'll see. Let's see. We got some tickers that have come in. So the first one I see is ANET. B Giles in the house. Good morning to you. Hostile M Sky. Good morning to you. Daniel. Good morning. Ivy Sakin. Good morning. Sabine. Good morning. Real virtual demands. Great to be here. Tariff wars. Every day. Real virtual demand. A little bit more surprised by tariff wars. I don't know. I don't know. Real virtual demand. Sounds like you might just be messing with me at this point. We got ANET is reporting earnings, and they did beat by 10% earnings per share. They also beat by a 1.9% surprise beat to the revenue side of things. So not a horrible report. I don't know. Is this going to be the hood for today? Not the hood. The what was it? What was the one that moved yesterday? Man, why can't I think of it today? What was the one that came out yesterday? Had a crazy day. Hims. Yeah, there you go. Hims. Brain farted on that one. We got ANET. I don't know. We'll see. It did run into the report. The report doesn't look bad. I'm not sure what the guidance was, but you also had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days in a row of a really strong push into the earnings, but well off the lows. So when I say Hims, it's kind of looking like Hims a little bit, where you're well off the highs. It's not like we're sitting at all time highs into the report, but you did make some kind of run into it. So we'll watch this one. It is a gap and go from yesterday. The earnings still looked pretty good. I'd see if you could wait to see if you get to like 83.38 and then maybe a full on retest of that gap, 81.25, before I try to go long on it and just assume we get a down 10% move into a 20% move like Kim's had yesterday. We'll see, but it is a gap and go. I don't know if I want to play it bearish. I think there's just way too much support along the line. And then if you start breaking this 83.38, I wouldn't touch it long. I wouldn't. I don't think I have enough room to go short. So I'd probably rather go long than short on this one. But I'd want this one a little bit lower. We are trapping some people. If this gap does not close today, you do have a slight sign for an abandoned baby on the daily chart, which would be a pretty heavy reversal signal where you're going to get lower. But probably most likely, I think we probably fill the gap today, but I wouldn't touch it quite too soon. As soon as the bell rings, let's see if you get a little pullback. And if we could get a bullish setup somewhere, I think I'd rather lean on that side of things. We got Grab. Grab is just barely qualifying. We'll see if it still works, but just barely qualifying for a tradable stock for me. So I do want my stocks to be above $5. And you're sneaking in there with a 501 print. Pretty decent opening price. This is also a retest gap from yesterday, but I like that price a lot. Big thing to worry about on this one is 505. So that's only going to give you about 4 pennies to the higher side before that first resistance. If you get above it, I think your next push is to about 525, and 24 cent move on a $5 stock is not that bad. That's a pretty decent move. However, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get too much momentum in Grab for today, but nice gap, good move higher. Looks like earnings were a beat on both ends, so 60% earnings per share. That's a nice little win for them, and then 8.68 million to the higher side. So we'll see. A longer term basis, anything above 480, I like it to probably the bullish side for a breakout, but we'll see if we this is another one that moved from $3.38 to $5 all within the course of essentially a month. So already a massive move. You are buying other people's gains if you do it, but still fairly nice opening to it. We got Hood. Pretty positive day yesterday. Really just closing into a whole bunch of resistance, but most of the rest of the market kind of faded back. It kind of hit that resistance and faded. This one at least held pretty strong, but still into this resistance. For me to go bullish on this one, I'd want to see anything printing above 49.53. Otherwise, I'd be a little concerned that we're just kind of opening at the highs of the day into resistance. Most likely, I think we probably get some kind of a pullback first. I'm not sure where that goes to. 48.07 would be an interesting spot, or a full-on retest to 47.24. I don't really want that to hit. I think the max to the downside I want to see is 47.52, or I'd be a little extra cautious on the close. But maybe we get some follow through, high wave candle. And then the question is this market going to be strong enough to get us above 49.32 for today? And I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. I don't want to go bearish on it, and I'd be cautious in the bull direction. Let's get this one a little bit higher. We'll watch it throughout the day, see how that one wants to pan out. MU. MU's one that we have not looked at in a little bit. If that big surprise has anything to do with chips, maybe MU is in play. But again, it's a hunch. It's not don't put the entire account on anything chip related based off of some random guy on YouTube's thought process. But you got MU is it's okay. It's hanging out a little bit choppy. I don't mind the open as long as we're opening above $80.69. Even if it squeezes a little bit past it, you got yeah, no, you're still right at that 89.60. Let's see, 89.64. So you have a little bit of support built in, and then you got to the high side 81.03. So a little bit of chop, I think. We start breaking 81.06. Let's put that at. Then I think you do have a lot more room to the higher side on this one, and we probably get that continuation. But look for some kind of initial, maybe a high wave candle on this one, and then again, can we break out of that resistance? So we'll see. We'll get that one higher. To the higher side, I don't really have really anything holding us back until 85.38. So that would be a nice win. Does that all come today? Anything's possible, but I think I'd be looking at 82.74 as a target. That meets up with that 50. That's also taking us to at least a good psychological level, almost the opening of this first down candle. And I think the chart probably longer term, even if we do make this move today, instead of just filling that gap, I think we do something like this, and then we almost need that second push into it. And I'm not even sure that we don't do something with a bigger dip first and then we push. But either way, I think this is a tough candle to break. I kind of like where it's at. It's not a bad open, but a little probably just too tight ranged and maybe causing some kind of a high wave indecision, a little bit of a trap on either direction before the move actually happens. You got Lily, LLY. Lily, getting a gap and go, still inside yesterday's candle. We did hit a good volume zone, 777.30. We looks like we closed slightly underneath it. So we at this point might be trapping some of those bears who were just kind of building positions to go short, looking for some kind of a gap fill down to like 757.65. That would be my target for today if we end up breaking this 775 or 776.50 zone. I think you got room down to like 757.65. So that would give you some decent room to the downside. So far though, trapping some bears. Again, I don't know how well this target holds up. We've been through it a couple times, but there was some potential support, 791.21. We're still below that. We might just bang our heads off of that one. If we don't, we go a little bit higher. You got $800.22. Also getting through that $800 psychological hold number, and then back to like 809.22. So maybe more or less of an inside day for here. Um, Extended targets, I think, take us to about 809, which would be a really, really good trade if we get there. You have a few levels from all the way back beginning of April that might give us a little bit of a challenge first. But risk to reward is not bad as long as we don't break yesterday's VPOC 776. Let's see if we get some selling first, get as close as possible to that. The more we drop at open on this one, the better we have for risk to reward to the higher side. But not bad. It still looks a little bit rough on the daily, but there is at least a case for the bulls to have decent risk to reward on that one. Meta, and if you want to short that one, I would wait for probably the at least 805 zone to go short. Yeah, Meta is that one kind of had a rough day yesterday. We actually got a close below the previous day's candle, still inside the candle from Friday, which is okay, but also closing back below that 100. So not great for that. You have an opening price right now below yesterday's VPOC. I think this is primed for a short for today. Uh, have a little bit of support. I mean, how many times have we been through this one though? 589.38. So maybe that holds. It's kind of looking like we're pretty much opening right now, slightly above it. But I think this one maybe looks like it wants continuation to the downside. I don't know how far extended. Again, what Jerome Powell says today is going to make that final push. I think we see some volatility maybe in the morning, and then we might run into one of those quiet sideways chop days. If you guys took the Tesla trade with me yesterday, we're experiencing that sideways chop type of trade, so we know what to expect if it happens. But um, and then I think the actual move today will come later today, probably around 2:30, which will decide the direction and then probably set us up going forward for the rest of the week up until who knows? We got the best of news. We got every day is something crazy. But I think targets to the downside today. I wouldn't be overextending this one. Probably looking for like 583.79. If we do get some negative news or the market does not like what Powell says, I think got room to 579.90, and then eventually I think 577.46. But so far, just kind of hanging out. But it does look. I like the odds to the short side a little bit better than the long side on this one. Tesla. Tesla. Got mixed opinions. Mixed bag of opinions on this one. The 280 zone is what we have to take out. We had our target slightly above it yesterday on this Tesla. I thought we could get to this 280 zone. We did. We just needed the market to close first and some Bassett news to come out. The market really likes Bassett. I've realized that. And if he's talking today, I'm just going to go long on everything, I think, because anytime he talks, the market just loves it. He's a fan favorite. But you got 278.08. That is the resistance for today. So I do want to see us get an open above it. Otherwise, you do have a retest gap. Um, I think the retest could get you all the way back down to 274.65. But I was looking for possible targets in, like I said yesterday, 280.80. I thought that was a potential. And then I was looking for like 283.88. What did we end up doing last night? Where did we get to? On the initial news, we got right into that 280 zone, very close to it. You made that one nice extra push, right into so right into that 280. On a Robinhood after hours, you made one more push. You almost got up to like 282, 283. So TradingView not showing it, but after hours, after TradingView goes to sleep, I guess it needs to rest. So, but you did have that push almost right into that resistance. So again, a lot of this after hours already hit the resistance, and now the market's kind of free to do what it needs to. And we'll see if there's a reversal coming and we're playing into the downside. But for right now, still a gap and go. It's just a retest, or not a gap and go. It's a retest gap. You are below the 277.72. If you stay below 277.91, I like it to the short, probably full on retest to like 274.57. And then we kind of go from there, see if we could get some kind of support. But in the middle of chop, I'd either wait for this thing to go higher to look for that short or see if this thing comes down to go for the long. And I think we probably stay within that range, providing that Powell doesn't really say anything that affects the markets for today. Let's see what else we got. Hims. Yeah, let's take a look at Hims. Mm-mm. Mustafa says below 575 on SPY. I expect very bearish 2025. Wow, you gonna wrap up another, what do we got left? 8 7 8 months of the year just based on the 575. I do think the 575 is a good resistance if we get up there though. Yep. And then even with that, I think you could make a push if you get through it to 595. I think in a bullish direction, but the question is, does any of it hold? We don't. Everything's so volatile. None of the charts matter. It's all White House. It's all Trump. It's all like we're just reacting off of all that and then seeing how things play out. Until we get some concrete deals, we know what it is. Then I think we could probably make some predictions. Right now, I think it's very tough to go out on the ledge, but I like the effort. Hims, incredible move yesterday. Good bullish engulfing candle. Again, we were down 10%. We ended up rallying up almost 20% from the lows yesterday. You got Hims is running right into the first resistance. I don't know. This is a retail favorite stock. It did move a lot. I wouldn't be buying it at open if I think if you get some kind of pullback to 46.82, that would be the shot for the attempt, and then see if you get continuation. Bull step right back in. But you are pretty high after a big day yesterday. Usually, when those candles happen, you have a smaller inside resting candle for a day or two, and then it goes. So I don't know. I don't know if you want to try that continuation today. If you do, I'd be looking for like 46.82, at least come a little bit lower. But that's a big one to buy unless you get some kind of a pullback on that one. Let's see. We got Uber had earnings, I believe. There's another one where I think earnings came out. Did they not? Yeah. So earnings came out. I don't have what the earnings were, but I think they were decent. I think the earnings were pretty good from what I saw before. That being said, here's another case of just running up. This has also been a very, very wild earnings season. Most of the earnings have been good. I haven't really seen too many. I think maybe a couple biotechs that have been a little bit more difficult, but most of the earnings have been decent. And the question is, what do we do after the earnings? It doesn't really matter so much what the earnings are doing. It matters more so how they treat the stock afterwards. This is one that's run up into it. So very, very high levels that we kind of pushed expecting good numbers. And I think the Uber earnings were decent. You have a gap down, so you have some profit taking. You have now 3 days of consolidation, all with some VPOCs up here, some good volume zones, some bulls being trapped. I would love to see us get back into that zone and then short. I also would not be surprised if we open the gates, we short pretty quickly on this one. Otherwise, you got 81.59 is your first target. Anything below that, you start getting into like this $80.37 zone. But for right now, it's still holding with good earnings. Not really the reaction bulls probably want to see, but it looks like we're just in a little bit of profit taking when the market gives it to you type scenario. Disney, another one. That one is running today, almost right into that 200 from before. Now you're above it, so it's actually doing a little bit better than it was probably 30 minutes ago when I was looking at this thing. But fairly good earnings. Their subscriber numbers were iffy. It's either iffy or really good, or the market missed something. But I think they were looking at like negative. Like I think the market was pricing in negative growth in subscriber numbers to the Disney Plus, and they came in with like a 1.4 billion beat on subscribers. I think that's where you're getting some follow through. Again, I don't know if something was just misreported or that's a hefty difference in what the street was expecting compared to what they got. Otherwise, earnings look good, 22%. They were saying the parks were doing good too. Uh, they're very, I'm guessing, cheap parks where anybody can afford to go. Uh, they're doing pretty good, and the lines are still long. Cruises, I think, we're doing good for them too. They came in with 528 million to the upside, so fairly good earnings. I don't think the market was really anticipating that good of earnings, and it shows already. So you're up $8, $9 pre-market. You're also above a very, very key level. So 101.22 is where I'd be looking at, plus now above all moving averages. This is a retest gap. It's very, very difficult for me to play this one continuously bullish, but I do like this open a lot. I wouldn't be shocked either if somebody wants to take some gains on this one, but really, really good close. I just in no man's land. I don't know where to go with this one. I would get the feeling if I'm going bullish that I am getting in kind of high at this point. And at the same time, numbers were good surprise beat. Unless you were holding this thing from before, I don't know how to play this one unless it gets a pullback. But really good earnings for Disney nonetheless. I'm just in a very very tough position. Jimmy the Stick says, anyone have cash secured put candidates? I have been using Bull and Hood for Bull has really good premium. So I ended up buying some Bull yesterday, and then I'm just gonna sell some covered calls. I already did it. So I went like 3 weeks out with some covered calls at $20. I was getting really good premium on it. I'll continue to do so until the premium just ends up dying if we don't ever break out of this channel. But yeah, Bull's decent, Hood's decent. Andy says Palantir to sell puts on though, you'd have to really like it and the valuation. I don't know if I want to get filled at the higher pricing. But what was the other ones? Mara usually has some good ones, lower priced, pretty decent put pricing on that one as well. Otherwise, we need some of these companies that are kind of just. I like the companies that are kind of dying and then going from there. But bull is for today. So now you have 2 days inside day, still in this candle with decent bullish volume. So we haven't really broke either way on this one quite yet. We'll see if today is the day. But you're above the 200, above the 100, kind of hanging in there. I think we were at like 1550 earlier today. I think we made it to like 1570 almost after hours, but kind of pulling back with the rest of the market. Palantir is chilling. So retest gap. I wouldn't go short at open. See if you could get this thing to get bid up to 108.80, and then it might be a candidate to go short. Again, we hit that first support. We pretty much called the bottom of this one yesterday. I wasn't able to play it, but yeah, 105.47, somewhere down to that range. Now that has been hit yesterday. You might have targets a little bit further down to 101.34. I can't believe that's the morning bell already. I didn't even get to Baba. I was looking at Baba for a short, but. We'll take a look at it now. And otherwise, everybody on YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you've not done so already. It's going to be a busy day, lots of news coming out, and we'll cover it all tomorrow for you guys as well.